am Tamara, and today we are going to be talking about WIPS, works in progress. Now, if you are a sewer or a quilter, you will have works in progress. So I am going to walk you through 8 steps that you can follow to get yourself prepared and organized to tackle all of your WIPS. But before I do want to mention that at the very end of this video, I have a few extra bonus tips that I'm gonna throw your way that don't really fit within the 8-step system. So stick around for that at the end of this video. Now, step number 1, I am going to ask you to go around your entire house and gather up all those WIPS. Now, don't just think, oh yeah, they're all in my sewing room, no big deal. No, I'm asking you to walk around your entire house, look in your closets, look in the drawers, look in your craft corners, because I am sure you will be surprised to find a few extra WIPS that maybe you forgot about. On to step number 2. We are going to split our WIPS into groups. The first group is going to be anything that has a due date. So a due date for a birthday, a due date for a gift, a Christmas gift perhaps. For myself, I have due dates for different clients, customers. So all of those items put in one pile, that way you know these are important, I have to get around to these. Another pile is going to be fast projects. So projects that maybe just needed a tiny little bit of mending, a little bit of hand sewing, perhaps it just needs the binding finished up. Whatever it is, you know you can get it done between 10 and 30 minutes. I say put that in a fast pile. Then you are going to have your longer projects that maybe they still need basting, quilting, binding, perhaps they still need piecing, perhaps all you've done is cut out all of the items, but they all need to be put together. Stick it in that long-term pile. It's not really a long-term pile, but it's a pile of projects that will take you a longer amount of time. And then your final pile is going to be giving away. You never want to look at that project again. It was a headache and a half and you're just over it. Perhaps you can give it to a friend who will revive it, or perhaps you can give it to your local thrift store so someone else can discover that treasure for themselves. Either way, that's your giving away pile. Now, don't let that giving away pile collect dust in your home. Actually give it away. Step 3 is going to be writing all of these WIP projects down in one list. You don't need to organize your list yet. I just want you to write them all down, and then if they have any due dates, write the due date beside it. On to step number 4. Now it's going to be time to organize that list the way that you want them sewn. So of course at the top are priority items, at the bottom will be projects that either will take a long time or you're not ready to deal with them yet. I have a few questions for you though before you create that organized list. Can any of your projects be done in bulk? Maybe you have a whole bunch of projects that only need binding, or you've got a bunch of projects that they all need to get quilted, or maybe you've just cut out all of the pieces for your project and you've got to piece it, or you've got to add the zippers. Whatever it is, if it can be done in bulk, perhaps you want to stick them in a nice little grouping on your list. And finally, what type of person are you? Are you the type of person that looks at a list and gets really overwhelmed really quickly? Then if you are, I suggest putting all of those fast little projects at the top of your list and tackling those first. Because a 5-minute project, a 10-minute project, a 20-minute project, whatever it is, you can knock those off so fast and you will start to see your list dwindle, and it will encourage you to continue on going. But if you are the type of person that kind of avoids the whole thing because there's that one project that's just overwhelming, it's kind of got you stuck, you just don't want to deal with it, maybe you need to put that project to the top of your list. Just bite into it, get it done. So depending on the type of person you are, you're going to organize your list the way that you need it organized. Step number 5 is to note what is missing. So have a look at all of your WIPs. If you have the matching thread but it's just not with your project, I suggest you find all of those items and you start putting them with the projects, including the patterns, and then write a little shopping list down of everything that you need to purchase for all of the WIPs so that you can finish them. Once you've written out that shopping list, you can buy all of those extra items that you need, bring them home, and stick them with each individual WIP. That way, when you come to your WIP, you're not stopped by any missing items. Step number 6 is to stick that list somewhere you will always see it. So if you have a sewing room, maybe that's tacking it to your sewing room wall. If you don't, maybe it's putting it on your fridge or putting it on your sewing machine cover, wherever you are going to see it so that you can be reminded of the different things that you have in your WIPs list that you really want to finish. Step number 7 is making a plan and getting organized. Now, all the way through all of these steps, I've obviously been trying to tell you how to make that list, how to get organized. But now I want you to think of a few different ways that maybe you can accomplish your WIPs. So perhaps you watch TV in the evening and you've got a bunch of fabrics for different projects, you've got the patterns with them, and you just need some quiet time to just cut up all of those pieces. Maybe keep those in some bins closer to your TV. For myself, when I'm making dinner, I do like to sneak off to my dining table and I'll do a little bit of sewing when I'm waiting for the water to boil or something to cook, but I don't want it to burn, so I want to stay near my kitchen. Then I have smaller projects, so those fast WIPs I keep near that sewing machine, near that corner, so I can just sneak on off and get a few of those little projects done while I'm cooking, or even while the kids are playing and I don't want to be away from them. I want to still be in their space. I keep those simple little fast projects nearby. And now for those larger projects, what about having a bulk day? Perhaps you can set aside a Saturday and just go, you know what? Today is going to be a binding kind of day. I'm going to pull out all of my WIPs that need binding and I am going to see how many I can get done. I highly suggest working in bulk because then you're already set up for that particular part of the process. Especially as quilters, you can get on a roll when you're doing basting. Perhaps you've already decided to baste your quilt on your dining table. Or maybe you have to clear your floor space to do that. Why not do a few at a time? That way you can actually move forward and you already have the floor space cleared, or the table, whatever it is, wherever you're sewing. You've already pulled out, say, the pins that you need for binding, whatever it is. Working in bulk can help you accomplish things just that little bit faster. So that's what I mean by planning and getting organized. Where are you going to put your WIPs so that when those pockets of time show up, you've got your items there and ready. And of course, if you're not setting up spaces, you're creating, say, bulk bins, right? So you've got all of these WIPs that definitely need all of the binding done. They're all together so that when you have that bulk day, you know where to go, you can grab it and you can get started. And step number 8 is the fun part. You are going to check off or scratch off of your list every single WIP that you accomplish, because I promise you it feels so good to see that list dwindle. And now on to the bonus tips. I highly recommend that you get organized. When you are organized, you just feel like you can accomplish things when you actually want to. Instead of walking into your sewing space going, shoot, I really should clean this up before I start a new project, just have spots for everything and you will be able to walk into that sewing space or sewing corner or wherever it is that you sew, and you will be able to just get to those fun projects. I do have a sewing room tour that I just recently did. I will have it linked in the description down below. And in that sewing room tour, I share all of my organizational tips within my room that I think you might really enjoy. And another bonus tip is to find an accountability partner. Now, this does not have to be a friend. Although if you have a sewing friend, count yourself lucky and see if they can be your accountability partner. But if you are looking for an accountability partner and you don't know where to find one, I suggest looking online. Now, my friend Lisa from Wild Plum Lane, she is actually putting on a WIP challenge, and I believe that starts January 16th of 2023, and I will have all of the details linked in the description down below for that as well if you're interested. And if it is after January 2023, then I highly recommend that you check that link out, because I am sure Lisa is going to put these on again in the future. I hope that you can tackle those WIPs, dwindle that pile so that you can feel good about sewing and about all of those awesome sewing projects that you've got on the go. And I will see you next time. Bye for now.